Welcome to datascience.show, the podcast where data science meets executive leadership. We talk with top AI and analytics thought leaders about turning data into real business impact. If you're a C-level leader or data expert shaping the future, you're in the right place.
Welcome to datascience.show, where data science meets leadership. I'm Mirko, and today we tackle a growing executive problem I call fairness debt. Imagine a lending model that quietly denied a measurable share of loan approvals to a protected cohort. No headlines for months until a regulator noticed a pattern in complaint volumes. Suddenly, the company was in remediation mode, emergency engineering work, a public response, board briefings, and, most costly, a program to rewrite parts of the product roadmap. That program ran for 9 months and cost far more than an earlier targeted fix would have. Sound familiar? It should, because fairness failures compound as systems scale.
This matters because fairness debt is not just a data team problem, it's a leadership problem. When models scale across millions of customers, undetected disparate impacts become operational, legal, and reputational liabilities for the whole company. Leaders need a compact, decision-friendly playbook to find fairness debt fast, prioritize what to fix, and fund remediation without paralyzing product velocity.
First, rapid detection. You should be able to surface high-risk signals in 72 hours. Here's a simple, non-technical triage you can ask for immediately. 1. Complaint heat maps. Plot complaints by geography, product line, and demographic cohort. Look for concentrated spikes versus baseline. 2. Cohort outcome divergence. Compare acceptance, denial, or escalation rates across meaningful groups. Do the outcomes separate more than your business tolerance allows? 3. Feature importance audits and drift checks. Has a proxy feature grown in influence relative to others, or drifted in distribution? 4. Downstream outcome sampling. Pick a random sample of recent decisions and follow outcomes 2 to 3 months out. Do certain cohorts have worse downstream credit performance, higher reversal rates, or higher complaint rates? 5. Quick manual reviews. Read 10 to 20 representative cases for any cohort that looks off. These 5 signals will get you from "we might have a problem" to "we have evidence and a hypothesis" within 3 days.
Detection is only half the battle. You need a prioritization rubric that converts harm into business exposure, so decisions are defensible at the executive and board level. I use a simple score: impact magnitude multiplied by population sensitivity multiplied by remediation complexity. Let me unpack that. Impact magnitude measures how large the harm is, how many customers, and how severe the outcomes. Population sensitivity measures how vulnerable or legally protected the affected group is. Remediation complexity is how many engineering, product, and policy changes are required. Multiply these 3 dimensions to get a relative priority score. In practice, set thresholds. Scores above your urgent threshold get emergency allocation and a 30-day compensating controls plan. Mid-tier scores get a 90-day engineering track with product trade-offs. Low scores go into monitoring with a 6-month roadmap item. Translate risk into dollars when you can. Expected remediation cost, potential regulatory fines, and an estimated reputation loss multiplier tied to customer churn. Leaders respond to numbers. Supply them.
Next, remediation lanes and the trade-offs each implies. Think in lanes, not guesses. Lane 1, monitor, telemetry, alerts, and compensating policy controls. This is fast and cheap, buys time, and reduces immediate exposure. Lane 2, compensate, adjust product rules or policies so affected cohorts receive human review or clearer disclosures. Lane 3, reweight or retune the model, adjust training data or loss functions to reduce disparity. Lane 4, redesign or product exclusion. If a use case consistently creates harm, consider narrowing or removing it from production. Each lane has cost buckets. Monitoring is low cost and short term. Compensation is moderate and operationally taxing. Reweighting is engineering heavy and requires testing. Redesign is the most costly, but the most durable. Use a tiered approach. For urgent, high-impact issues, apply compensating controls within days while running parallel engineering to retune or redesign over weeks or months. That preserves product velocity while reducing exposure.
You also need procurement and contract levers. When a vendor supplies models or data, add remediation SLAs tied to measurable outcomes. Sample language. Require vendor remediation within defined time windows for any confirmed disparate impact exceeding the agreed threshold. Include escrow triggers that allow temporary model suspension if remediation misses deadlines, and demand audit rights and explainability deliverables as part of acceptance criteria. Attach funding to fairness gates. No funds released for integration until a third-party fairness test passes or compensating controls are documented. These are negotiation points that actually work because they convert uncertainty into measurable obligations.
Organizationally, embed fairness into your escalation paths. Assign executive sponsorship, someone at the C-suite level who can clear budget and prioritization. Create a triage cell, a small cross-functional team of product, legal, compliance, and data science that owns detection to remediation for 30 to 90-day issues. Define communication protocols for customers and regulators, what you'll say, when you'll say it, and who signs off. And finally, bake fairness gates into your product roadmap cadence. Don't leave it as an afterthought. Governance should be lightweight but enforceable, with clear metrics that report to the board monthly.
Now a practical 30 to 90-day audit checklist to brief your board quickly. Day 0 to 3. Run the rapid detection triage I described and produce a one-page heat map. Day 4 to 14. Score each signal using the prioritization rubric and recommend actions per lane. Day 15 to 45. Implement compensating controls for urgent items, start parallel engineering fixes where needed, and draft external communications templates. Day 45 to 90. Validate engineering changes with A/B tests or back tests, finalize vendor remediation if applicable, and deliver a board-ready risk reduction dashboard that shows metrics, number of impacted customers, estimated remediation cost, complaints avoided, and status by remediation lane.
3 executive actions to take today. 1. Commission a 72-hour detection play and ask for a single-slide heat map. 2. Require a prioritization score on any confirmed disparity before funding larger engineering work. 3. Add remediation SLAs and fairness acceptance criteria to new procurement. If you want the exact templates, score sheet, procurement clauses, and the 30-90-day checklist, download the Fairness Debt Audit Toolkit at datascience.show/fairness. Do that now, and you'll have a pilot you can present to the board next month. From models to measurable value, this is how you preserve momentum without accepting silent harm. That's the difference between models and value.
Thanks for listening to datascience.show. If you found value in this episode, subscribe, share it with your network, and join us next time as we explore how data science drives smarter decisions and better business outcomes.